El 80% de las resoluciones financieras mueren antes de febrero, y Present Bias, Why You Save in January and Blow It by March, explica exactamente por qué tu cerebro sabotea tus ahorros. Watch what happens next. It's January. You open a notebook. You write the number you'll save this year. It feels clean. It feels certain. You mean it more than you've meant anything in months. Then February arrives quietly. By March, the notebook is under a stack of unopened mail, and the money you promised is already gone. You didn't lose your willpower. You didn't get weak. Something stranger happened. Something moving inside your skull that you never agreed to. The person who made that promise in January and the person who broke it in March are not the same person to your brain. Not emotionally, not neurologically. Your brain quietly files them apart. And once you understand why, you will never blame yourself the same way again. This isn't a story about discipline. It's a story about identity. It's about a stranger who happens to share your name. And it starts with a question almost nobody thinks to ask themselves. No spreadsheet ever prepared you for that. Think back to that first week of January. The city is cold and hopeful. You walk past the gym with the new banner. You cancel a subscription you forgot you had. You skip the coffee you'd normally buy without thinking. Every small no feels like a deposit into some better future. And it is, on paper. Psychologists have a name for the person you're saving for. They call it your future self. In January, you treat that future self like family. You'd sacrifice for them. You'd go without, so they can have more. You picture them clearly, calmer, steadier, finally free of the small money panics that follow you around all year. That picture is exactly why saving feels almost noble in winter. You're not depriving yourself. You're providing for someone you love, someone who happens to wear your face. Hold on to that feeling, because in about 8 weeks, it quietly disappears, and almost nobody notices the exact moment it goes. The whole month runs on that quiet arithmetic of care. Now, it's March. Same person, same account. Different weather inside your head. The menu arrives. The sale ends tonight. The trip your friends are booking looks like joy you can't afford to miss. And that careful January number, it feels abstract now, distant, like a rule someone else wrote for you. So you spend, not recklessly, reasonably. You tell yourself you'll make it up next month. You always do. This is the moment researchers call present bias. Your brain places enormous weight on the reward you can feel right now, and almost none on the reward waiting months away. The near thing glows. The far thing fades. Economists describe it with a curve. Hyperbolic discounting, they call it, where the value of a future gain drops off a cliff the instant something immediate appears beside it. You're not choosing badly. You're choosing exactly the way the human brain was built to choose. The only real question is why it was built that way at all. And that answer decides more of your life than your salary ever will. You reach for it without noticing you decided anything at all. Here's where the story turns. For years, we assumed this was a willpower problem. Fix the person, fix the spending. But brain imaging pointed somewhere far stranger. At UCLA, researchers slid volunteers into a scanner and asked them to think about themselves, their traits, their tomorrows. Then they asked them to think about a stranger, a person they had never met. The machine watched which regions lit up. When you think about yourself right now, a specific patch near the front of the brain, the medial prefrontal cortex, comes alive. It's your self-signal, your here I am region. When you think about a stranger, that signal goes quiet. Different task, different person. What they found next is the part that quietly reframes everything about January and March. Because when people imagine their own future selves, the person they would become in years, that self-signal didn't stay bright. It dimmed, it slid, measurably, toward the pattern the brain uses for someone else entirely. Same brain, same body, two different people, by the machine's own reading. Read that again slowly. To your brain, your future self is not fully you. Neurologically, that distant version of you looks a little like a stranger. The study, led by Hal Ersner Hirschfield and his colleagues, found something precise. The less your future self lit up like you, the more you discounted future rewards in favor of present ones. The bigger the gap between now you and future you, the harder saving became. This is the hidden engine under every broken resolution. In January, when you're calm and rested, you feel connected to that future person. The signal is warm, so you give generously. You promise them your patience, your restraint, your spare money. But that feeling of connection isn't fixed. It flickers with your mood, your stress, your fatigue. And when it dims, the person you were sacrificing for stops feeling like you at all. You wouldn't hand your whole paycheck to a stranger on the street. So why would a tired March brain sacrifice for one? The distance itself is the cost, not the spending. The distance. Your own brain drew the border and never told you. So look at what actually happens across those weeks. Nothing in your character changes. Your values don't collapse overnight. What changes is a signal. The felt sense of continuity between the you making the plan and the you living the consequences. In winter, that thread feels strong. The future self is close enough to touch. By spring, the thread has thinned. And a thinner thread means a simpler equation for your brain. Why suffer today for a person who barely registers as me? Every impulse purchase in March is quietly a vote. A vote that the person you'll be in December is someone else's problem. It doesn't feel that way, of course. It feels like a small, harmless yes. A dinner, a gadget, a weekend away. But each yes is your brain gently downgrading a stranger's needs beneath your own comfort tonight. That is not a flaw in you. It's the factory default. And defaults, unlike character, can be noticed. And once noticed, they can be changed. You are not fighting a bad habit. You are managing a stranger. Now here's the part that should stop you cold. This same quiet trade isn't just running in March. It's running in every decision you delay, every promise you postpone, every "I'll start when things settle down." The stranger you're shortchanging isn't only the December version of you. It's the you of 5 years from now, 10. The one who inherits every small yes you're casting today. And that future person can't argue back. They can't sit across from you and say, "Please, I needed that." They only arrive later, quietly, to live inside the choices you made when they still felt unreal. Most people never meet the mechanism doing this to them. They just feel the result, the strange gap between who they meant to be and who they became. But you are about to see how the people who build calm, steady lives around money quietly close that gap. They don't have more willpower. They have a different relationship with a stranger who shares their name. They simply refuse to let that thread go slack when winter ends. That is the real work, and almost no one names it out loud. First, sit with the cost, because it's larger than any single splurge. The real price of present bias isn't the dinner or the impulse buy. It's the compounding of 1,000 small betrayals of the future. Each one feels affordable on its own. Together, they quietly set the ceiling of your entire life. Think of the raise that vanished. You earned more, and within months, your spending rose to swallow it, and nothing actually changed. That's present bias too. The extra was near and warm, so you gave it to today. The future self, who could have had breathing room, never even got the message. This is why earning more so rarely fixes the feeling of being behind. The mechanism doesn't care about the size of the number on your paycheck. It cares only about which self feels real in the moment of choosing. And in the moment of choosing, present you almost always wins, because present you is the only one your brain fully recognizes as itself. The number grew. The stranger stayed exactly as poor as before. That is the quiet math no raise has ever solved. Now watch someone who is genuinely steady with money. From the outside, it looks like discipline, or luck, or some cold gift they were simply born with. It's almost never that. What they've quietly done is shrink the distance between now you and future you. They think in time, not in moments. They've made the future person specific, not a vague, blurry someday, but a real human with a face, a morning, a Tuesday, a life that leans on today's small choices. When the future self is vivid, the brain's signal stays warm. And when the signal stays warm, sacrifice stops feeling like loss. It starts to feel like loyalty. That is the whole secret hiding under decades of tired advice. Not more restraint, more connection. The steady ones aren't grinding their teeth against every temptation. They simply refuse to treat their future self like a stranger. They've kept the January feeling alive all the way into March, on purpose, by design, never by mood. They keep a face on the future, so the future keeps its claim. Here's the uncomfortable part. This means your money problem may not be a money problem at all. It's a relationship problem with someone you've never met but will certainly become. Every January, you make that person promises. Every March, you quietly break them. And you call it weakness, when it was really distance. We spend so long trying to force discipline that we miss the simpler lever sitting right underneath it. You don't need to become a stronger person. You need to make the future person more real. The version of you who overspends isn't bad, or broken, or lazy. That version simply forgot, for one moment, that the stranger on the other end of the choice was you. Wearing your face, carrying your name, living in the house your choices are building right now, one ordinary Tuesday at a time. Discipline asks you to fight yourself. Connection asks you to stop abandoning yourself. And only one of those two ever survives past February. The stronger the bond, the quieter the temptation becomes on its own. So here's the reframe that changes everything. You were never bad with money. You were just loyal to the wrong self. Every time the future felt far, you handed a stranger's future to your present comfort, and the stranger was always you. Say it plainly. Your future self is a stranger you keep robbing, not out of malice, out of distance. The January version of you understood this instinctively. That's why saving felt like love, not sacrifice. The work isn't to summon more willpower every spring. It's to keep that stranger close enough, real enough, vivid enough, that abandoning them feels like exactly what it is. The moment the future stops being abstract, the whole equation flips on its head. Suddenly, saving isn't going without. It's refusing to leave someone behind. And that someone is the only person guaranteed to live inside every choice you make tonight. The distance was the entire problem. Close the distance, and March stops betraying January. Nothing about you was ever broken, only the wiring of distance. You were loyal. You were just loyal to the nearer face. So here is one concrete thing to do, and it costs nothing. Before your next real purchase, the kind you'd usually justify in 3 seconds, pause and ask a single question. Not, can I afford this? Ask instead, what is the version of me 1 year from tonight, hoping I choose right now? Give that person a face. Picture their ordinary evening. Let them be real for 5 full seconds before you decide anything. That's it. No spreadsheet, no punishment, no shame. Just a deliberate act of introducing present you to future you before the money changes hands. Do it often enough, and something quietly shifts. The stranger starts to feel like family again, not only in the bright first week of January, but in the tired middle of March, when it actually counts. You're not trying to defeat your impulses by force. You're trying to remember, in the exact moment of choosing, that someone you love is standing at the other end of the decision, and they answer to your name. One small introduction, repeated, does what years of guilt never could. 5 seconds of memory against a lifetime of drift. Look at that January notebook one more time. The number wasn't a rule. It was a message from you to you. Across a distance, your brain struggles to feel. Most resolutions don't die from weakness. They die from that distance, in the quiet weeks when the future stops feeling real. But distance is a thing you can close. The person you'll be in December is already here, waiting inside every small choice you make tonight. They aren't a stranger unless you leave them one. Keep them close, and March will finally keep the promise January made. So next winter, when you write that number down again, you won't be making a wish into the dark. You'll be keeping a date with someone you already know, someone who has been counting quietly on tonight. That is how January finally learns to trust March again, and the debt you never knew you owed gets quietly, finally paid.